There is money to be made in lying to you, especially when it comes to relationships, especially when it comes to consuming social media and content online about men and women in relationships, especially when it comes to feminists who say down with the patriarchy and blue pill men who say, is it blue pill? Is it red pill? Crap, I always get that wrong. Anyway, the blue pill, red pill guys who say women are gold digging whores. There is money to be made in lying to you, especially when you're consuming content online. And I'm gonna help you understand when it comes to relationship content, men and women, modern dating, how to tell if somebody's lying to you and if you should listen to that person who's talking, the content, the creator. If you should listen to any of it. The first question you need to ask is, who am I paying attention to? Am I listening to a feminist who thinks all men are evil because she had a really bad experience with a man who took advantage of her? Or am I talking to a man who's never had a relationship before and is really scared of a woman just divorcing him and taking all alimony because that's what he's heard online, and he doesn't really talk to women enough to understand that most women do genuinely want to have a good, loving relationship? Or is it somebody like me who is married and has a successful marriage, has a good track record with relationships, has a commitment to the relationship, and actually likes the opposite sex? So I think that's a really good question to ask when you are consuming relationship content. I have found the vast majority of relationship content out there that is good is from married individuals or married couples. Like sometimes it's the husband and wife together, sometimes it's just the husband, sometimes it's just the wife. I think people who are married have the best insights onto what makes a good, healthy relationship because they have a good track record. And that's not to say people who have never been in a relationship have bad advice, and it's not to say that people who are divorced couldn't give you good advice on how not to get divorced. Like, they could give you good advice on what's bad for a relationship because it was bad for theirs. Or people who are single could give you good advice on what, to look for, what their strategy is to look for. So like, you can get good advice on all aspects of the spectrum. But if you are consuming content from somebody who is on the extreme, somebody who has a bad track record of relationships, that is a question you need to ask. That's something you need to take into consideration. Because if you are taking advice from somebody who has a bad track record, it's possible and it's highly likely that the advice is bad and that they're lying to you and trying to get you to think an extreme viewpoint that you really shouldn't be thinking. The second question you need to ask if you want to learn to think for yourself is, am I listening to a fact or am I listening to an opinion? Now, a fact is a cold, hard truth that can't be changed. An opinion is someone's own personal philosophy and interpretation of those facts. Now, when you're consuming relationship content online, a lot of that gets blurred. A lot of people will take a fact and then put an opinion spin on it and make you think that their opinion is also part of that fact. So, an example could be, it is a fact that half of marriages end in divorce. And it's also a fact that more women file for divorce than men do. I'm not disputing either of those. The opinion comes in when you say, oh, well, women file for divorce more than men, and half of marriages end in divorce, therefore, women are destroying marriage. That's an opinion. that's not women destroying marriage. That's just women divorcing men. What is destroying the marriage could be infidelity and money issues. Those are the two biggest reasons women or anybody files for divorce. So if you look at, well, what if half of men cheated, or half of men gambled all their money away, or a quarter and a quarter, and then, you know, the women that filed divorce had a reason to file that divorce. And then what if, on the other hand, these men were just completely blindsided by the woman's divorce, right? There could be a lot of factors that go into the woman's decision to file for divorce. It doesn't mean the woman is ruining the relationship, right? What if that woman wanted to go to therapy first and the man refused to go to therapy, so she just filed for divorce instead? Like, there could be a lot going on there. So if you're looking at a fact and then someone tries to interpret that fact in a certain way to make you think something that it doesn't mean, that's somebody who is either lying to you or trying to slant information. And I don't think it's bad to watch content creators that do have opinions. I think it's very good to have opinions. That's what makes it more entertaining to watch one content creator than another, or to watch multiple content creators, because you can get different viewpoints on things. You can get different opinions. But if somebody is giving you facts, make sure you're looking at the fact as a fact, and you're not looking at the fact as an opinion. And that if somebody has an opinion on that fact, make sure that it makes sense, right? Ask questions, think about it, go in the comments and ask, well, how does that necessarily mean women are destroying marriage? Well, couldn't the men be destroying the marriage by not participating in the marriage, and then that leads women to divorce? Like, ask those questions, because just saying, well, here's one fact, it means this, is slanted if it doesn't mean that. And the third really big tell of is somebody lying to you or not is to check and see, is this a one-sided opinion? Is this a one-sided topic? Are you being given all the information you need? Now, I've already covered that women are hypergamous because men are hypogamous. There is a duality there. There's a dichotomy there. There's a balance, a yin and yang. Women want men who make more money than them. Men want women who make less money than them. So if you're ever online and you hear men saying, oh, well, women are gold diggers, that makes them whores, blah, 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 and they don't say, well, men are also hypogamous, that's a one-sided view. You're not getting the full information there. You're listening to somebody who is trying to slant information and is trying to convince you of something that you don't need to be convinced of, and you need to question that. You need to question that thought process. And on the other side, you'll see more of like an emotional charging where there's like a sympathy involved. There's a demonization of the other party, like, you know, a woman who says she's been taken advantage of by a man. There's this insistence that you need to just believe all women, which I think is a very dangerous thought process. It's akin to Salem witch trials. Either believe or don't believe. Like, anytime you do like a blanket believe, don't believe kind of thing, you get into witch trials and it's a bad thing. So if somebody comes at you with an emotionally charged argument and it's not a fair, logical, here's both sides of the issue, or they don't accept that, well, the guy could be innocent until he's tried for it, right? He's only guilty of it once he's been convicted in a court of law. So like, unless you're getting both sides of it with that, it's okay to have an emotionally charged like response as long as they're acknowledging everything and both sides of the issue. But if you're getting just an emotionally charged reaction to something, just an like you have to side with me because I've been wronged kind of thing, that's not giving you the full story. And that's also something to watch out for, especially online, because you can make up whatever you want online. And the fourth way to really tell if you're being lied to online or not is to check and see how the general vibe of the content comes off. Is it positive? Is it negative? Does it leave you feeling good after watching it, or does it rile you up? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, the best advice is not going to make you angry. The best advice is not going to make you sad or scared or riled up in any way. Good advice is gonna make you feel satisfied and content, and it's gonna make you think. It's gonna make you wanna marinate all your brain juices. Like it's gonna give you a better vibe. It's not gonna make you angry or upset. So if you're ever watching content online and you had an epiphany moment, but it charges you up, it riles you up, that's a sign that it's bad content, that it's a bad opinion, that it's a bad slant for you. You want to consume content that's going to give you less of a reaction than that. You want to consume content that, like, when you go to bed at night, you're going to be thinking about something somebody said and thinking about it more, even though you like clicked off that video and went and watched something else. You want to consume content that makes you think. You want to consume content that makes you feel like you have a better grasp of the discussion, that you have a better grasp of the topic. So an example would be if you watch a video and you think, oh, well, women just want to take advantage of me, of my money, or, oh, just men want to take advantage of me, all they want is to sleep with me. If you come away with that feeling of, I'm gonna be taken advantage of, you're gonna go out into the world and be taken advantage of, because that's all you're gonna see. But if you watch a video and you see, oh, well, men really love women. Oh, women really love men. And, you know, maybe we just want to work together and have a good, healthy relationship. And, okay, well, maybe this will help a relationship. Oh, that's the key to a happy marriage. That will help you go out into the world and look for people and find people who have a similar mindset. If you bring a positive view into your life, you are more likely to have positive experiences. And I really hate toxic positivity, so I'm not going down that realm. But if you consume good, positive, healthy content, you're gonna feel good and positive and healthy when you're done watching it. If you consume toxic content, you're gonna feel riled up, you're gonna be enraged, you're gonna feel taken advantage of. So keep that in mind. If you're watching something and it's giving you like a hard reaction, it's probably slanted. It's probably trying to get you to think something, and it's making money off that. So keep that in mind. So if you want to know if you're being lied to when you're consuming content or not, ask these 4 questions. Who am I getting advice from? Do I have a fact or an opinion? Do I have both sides of the argument? And what's my general feeling after watching it? Those are the 4 questions you should be asking. And if you're getting triggers on all of those, and you're watching content, you're realizing it's checking all the wrong boxes, then maybe you need to think for yourself a bit more. Maybe you need to watch some different content. Maybe you need to ask more questions and learn to think for yourself. Like, comment, and subscribe. This is one of 4 videos, or I'll post the big long one at the end with all the topics together. Let me know what you thought. I'll see you next week.